If you ever sit down to work on something that actually matters, like a strategic decision or a critical project, or even a leadership move, and suddenly everything else becomes urgent, like email, messages, small tasks. Hmm. So here's the truth that most people miss. Your brain isn't distracted. It's essentially it's carrying too much authority load. And until that load is stabilized, your focus will keep failing, no matter how disciplined you are. There was a time, there was a time in my career when I knew exactly what needed my attention, right? It was big projects that we were working on, those high stake decisions, things that had consequences, right? That if I got them wrong, man, it was trouble, right? But every time I sat down to do work on one of them, I did everything except the thing that mattered. I told myself I had a focus problem. At least that's what I thought. Man, I tried systems, I tried discipline. Man, I had these whiteboards with all kinds of stuff written on them to help keep me focused. But the real issue wasn't, in fact, it wasn't focus. It was mental overcapacity. A mentor of mine said something that really stuck with me. They said, "You can't focus when your system is already overloaded." Let me repeat that. You can't focus when your system is already overloaded, right? And and that was truly a nice moment for me. I stopped treating focus as a productivity issue and started treating it as capacity and a regulation issue. When I began applying what later became the mind flow cycle, not to work harder, but to reduce internal load, man, everything shifted. Decisions got cleaner, man, mental friction dropped, and stress stopped leaking into everything. And the most important work, man, I could finally focus and it finally moved forward. So let me show you how this works. And at the system level, I'll show you how it works at the system level, not at the hustle level. So here are three steps based on our program, the Mind Flow Cycle, and basically applied to authority. Step number one, clear the authority load. You got to close all the mental tabs, okay? Before you try to focus, do not organize your task. Do not prioritize. Do not solve anything yet. Instead, do this. Write down. Write down everything your mind is carrying: decisions, thoughts, concerns, open loops. Man, anything that's sort of like unfinished thoughts running around your head, because your brain cannot hold authority over one thing while it's silently tracking 20 others. This isn't a productivity trick. It's basically what we call load shedding, okay? The moment you externalize what your mind is holding, capacity will return. Trust me. Step two, you've got to collapse the decision field. And this is what we call the one decision rule, all right? So most people are trying to focus by pushing harder. And that's really backwards. Focus comes from removing choices, not adding effort. And so here's the rule: for the next 30 minutes, there is one outcome that matters, not five, not making progress, just one outcome. Set a timer, and everything else is irrelevant for that window. It could be 30 minutes, it could be 90 minutes. Remember, you're focused on one outcome. And this isn't about discipline, it's about restoring authority to your attention. Step three, you've got to reduce internal resistance, right? That's like lowering your activation energy. So if a task feels impossible to start, it's not because you're lazy or anything, it's because the activation energy is just too high. So instead of asking, "How do I finish this?" ask, "What is the smallest, lowest resistance opening move?" Right? Is it opening one document? Is it just writing one sentence or outlining a single bullet point? Or maybe just reading the first paragraph of whatever your report is that you got to get through. Okay. When resistance drops, momentum follows. And this is how you stop forcing focus and start allowing it. So here's what matters, just to summarize a little bit. If focus keeps breaking down, it's not a character flaw, it's not discipline, it's not motivation, It's a signal that your internal system is under strain. And until that system is stabilized, focus will remain fragile. And this is why these high level leaders don't need more tactics. What they need is coherence under pressure. If this resonates with you, here's what I'll offer you. And it's not a hack or a productivity download. If you comment focus, I'll send you a short diagnostic guide I use to help leaders identify where their internal load is just breaking focus and clarity. It's not a funnel, it's not hype. And if, as you go through it, you recognize a deeper authority strain, we can have a private advisory conversation about what stabilizing that system actually looks like. Because focus isn't something you force. It's essentially something that returns when authority, your authority, is restored. So, as always, subscribe and share this video with someone who can benefit. And remember, stay strong.